Good morning and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. You know, I love getting your day started off on the right foot. And to help with that, I use an inspiring quote. Today's is so good. Oh, really think about this one. I pray that I'm never a source of pain for anyone. I pray I don't bring darkness in anyone's life. I pray that I'm a source of light and goodness wherever I go. That's what we're called to be, right? A source of light and goodness. I love the way that Matthew chapter 5 puts it. Starting in verse 13, this is the Message translation. Listen to how it's read. Let me tell you why you're here. You're here to be salt seasoning that brings out the God flavors of this earth. If you lose your saltiness, how will people taste godliness? You've lost your usefulness and will end up in the garbage. Here's another way to put it. You're here to be light, bringing out the God colors in the world. God is not a secret to be kept. We're going public with this, as public as a city on a hill. I make you light bearers. You don't think I'm going to hide you under a bucket, do you? I'm putting you on a light stand. Now that I've put you there on a hilltop, on a light stand, shine. Keep open house. Be generous with your lives by opening up to others. You'll prompt people to open up with God, this generous Father in heaven. I love the way that's written. Oh my goodness. So go out there and be a light in your world. Impact people for the good. Bring out the God flavors. Bring out the God colors in the world by being a great example of what a Christian should be as we follow the example of Christ. So go do it, and I'll do it too. We'll do it together. Sound good? All right. Thanks for hanging out with me right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I got your word of life for you from Psalm 143, verse 10 in the New Living Translation of the Bible. Teach me to do your will, for you are my God. May your gracious spirit lead me forward on a firm footing. Oh, yes, just learning to follow. Sometimes that's really hard for us to do because sometimes he leads us into some things that don't feel natural for us. But you know what? That's okay. We've got to learn to just follow and trust. And as we do, life gets better and better, doesn't it? Yeah. Hey, why don't you share that word of life with somebody and share what it means to you with them? It's a great way of sharing your faith. We've got it ready for you on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X or Twitter, and TikTok. And it's always at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. For those of you who don't already know, I've got a daughter. Her name is Grace. She's 9 years old. And yes, I watch my fair share of kid movies, and I have fallen in love with some of them. There's one series in particular that we really like. Yeah, it has Minions and it has Gru. A little clip now from that movie to set up this next break.
I like it, but not a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Sometimes you just don't like things, but can you do them anyway? Well, that's what we have to learn how to do, right? Sometimes it doesn't feel too good, though. We're going to talk more about that with a little help from Mel Robbins coming up next. So stick around. Some days you just wake up feeling like $1 million. You know, it's like, hey, I'm ready to take on this day. Let's go. But then there are some days you're just not feeling it. I mean, it's even hard to get up out the bed. You're like, Steven, that's me every morning. I never want to get out of the bed. I got you. But, you know, sometimes we've got to push through. It takes a little perseverance to really make it in this life. You know what I mean? Yeah, well, there's this lady who knows a little something about that. In fact, she's helped a lot of people push through that feeling of just not wanting to do it anyway, and sometimes even do it afraid, do it scared, because it's got to get done, right? She's got a little advice for all of us, and she's open and transparent about how she handles it too. So here, take a listen to what Mel Robbins has to say.
I personally feel like it's important to understand that you may never like the things you need to do, and you can still do them. I will never like getting out of bed, and I still get out of bed when the alarm rings. I don't like emptying the dishwasher, and I still do it. I don't like exercising. I still do it. I don't like eating healthy a lot of the times. I still do it. I don't like taking a breath and centering myself. When I really want to just scream at my husband, and I still do it. Because I let my emotions and my anxiety and my trauma responses and my fears run my life for far too long. I'm just in a daily dance with myself to constantly come back to alignment and peace and showing up as the kind of person that I want to be rather than how I may feel in the moment.
Feel like I'm in a daily dance with myself. I don't think I've ever heard it put so well in all my life, because that's where I'm at right now. In a daily dance with myself, trying to come back to where I need to be. Oh, because the emotions, anxiety, stress, the cares of life, oh my goodness, it can mess you up and it can make you feel like crawling up in a hole somewhere, but you can't do it. And there's something we have to help with that, and that is the fact that we're never alone. We're not doing this thing on our own. The Holy Spirit is with us, guiding us, leading us, comforting us. And so we've got to trust in Him, and we got to push through. Do the thing anyway. Many of us Alabama fans are just reeling today from the news about Nick Saban's retirement. It had been speculated for a while. Some rumors kind of were put out there before, but now it's like everybody is reporting Nick Saban is leaving. And it's a really tough pill to swallow, because let's be honest, we've gotten pretty spoiled having Nick Saban as a coach. I'm actually wearing my Alabama shirt today, and solidarity, let's say that. But hey, you know what? I imagine that there are some University of Alabama students that are really feeling it. In fact, I know there are. I found one of them. Her name is Riley Catherine, and she had a little something to say about this whole retirement thing. She's not believing it.
To all my Alabama fans, I think somebody hacked the ESPN account, and they're playing a trick on us. There is just no way Saban is leaving. I'm going to wait until I get a phone call from him myself saying, hey, Rye, I hope you've enjoyed your time at Alabama, but since you're a sixth year and you're graduating, I've decided I might as well retire too, because once you're done this season, I might as well be done. If I hear that, then I'll believe it and I'll understand his reason for leaving. But until then, I think ESPN got hacked. I think it's fake news. And I think Saban's about to come out and say, psych, I'm staying. False news. Don't listen to it. That's why you can't always trust the news. You never know what they're going to say. Because there's just no way this can be true. If it is, my day is ruined. Happy track season.
Yeah, I kind of feel for her. But you know, I've got to play the Alabama fight song. I just have to. I'm sorry. I wouldn't be a good fan if I didn't. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Yes. I don't know who's going to replace him. No clue. There have been a lot of names kind of out there, but we'll see what happens with it. It's just going to be weird. Anyway, I guess we'll just keep watching the news, find out what's happening, who they're going to replace him with. I don't think you could ever fill those shoes. I really don't. Anyway, well, I just had to talk about it. But guess what? We're going to move on from this sad news to some really fun news, because I'm about to be giving away some gift cards. Are you going to win some? I sure hope so, because you know why? Do you know why? It's just that I so happen to have a really good feeling that somebody's going to be winning some gift cards here in about, 2.5 minutes. Stick around. Let's see if it's you, okay?
You're the joy that I cannot deny.
Say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Give me the horn. All right, now let's crank that engine, then let's start that music so I can say, hey everybody, it's time to play the Carline competition. It's your chance to win some gift cards this morning. I got one to Guntersville Chick-fil-A, one to Albertville Home Bakery, and one to the Caring Heart Thrift Store in Arab. You know how this works. It's a trivia game. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to give you the cue to call, and don't worry about being nervous, because I don't even take the phone call live. Nope, I do not. I record it so I can edit it and make you sound like a rock star on the radio. So keep that in mind. Don't be nervous. When you win one for yourself and 2 to give away. And I'm going to ask you what 2 people are really special to you today. What 2 people are you going to give those gift cards to? So let's get this thing started, shall we? Here we go. First question of the Carline competition. How do crocodiles clean their teeth? Is it A, they allow small birds to pick them? Is it B, with a toothbrush? Is it C, they rinse with salt water? Or D, they use reeds to brush them? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. How do crocodiles clean their teeth? And I've already got a caller. Wow, y'all are quick. All right, stay on the phone line with me while I start this next song and I'll get your answer. Here's Ben Fuller, If I Got Jesus. Top of the morning to you.
Good morning.
How's it going, Richard Duty?
Very fine.
I'm glad to hear it, man. So, I don't know about you, but if I don't brush my teeth for a while, they start feeling a little fuzzy, like they got hair growing on them. How about you?
Well, I agree.
Now, we have these wonderful toothbrushes that we can use, but a crocodile, I've never seen one attempt to use a toothbrush. I don't think their hands could reach up close to their mouth. So how do they clean their teeth? Is it A, they allow small birds to pick them? Is it B, with a toothbrush? Is it C, they rinse with salt water? Or is it D, they use reeds to brush them?
I'm thinking D.
D, using reeds to brush them? It's not the answer I'm looking for. There's actually another one on here that's the correct answer. So one more shot at it. Is it they allow small birds to pick them? Is it they use a toothbrush? Or do they rinse with salt water?
Well, I don't know if I can get it right. Be birds.
That's it. Birds. They don't eat, well, occasionally they probably eat the birds, but most of the time they just let the birds pick their teeth and then they're happy campers. So there you go. You just won some gift cards, sir.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I love it.
Awesome, man. All right. So you know how this works. We want you to keep one, give two away. Just two very special people. Tell me about those two people.
Well, I'm going to give one to my wife, of course.
All right.
Which she's been there for me and helped me out.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to give one to my friend Jordan at work.
All right. Very cool.
Yeah, he's always helpful.
Man, that's great. It really helps to have good coworkers because if you got some bad coworkers, going to work just does not feel right. You dread it. So I'm glad you got some great people in your life, Richard. All right, man. Well, I'm going to get these gift cards sent your way.
All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Have a great day.
All right. You too, sir.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. This question reminded me of something I saw in a movie one time, and I wonder if you remember where this is from.
Now, is there anyone here that can tell me why most alligators are abnormally aggressive?
I know the answer to this question. Raise your hand.
Anybody? Anyone? Yes or you, sir?
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
Your mama said alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush.
I love it. Love it. Of course, that's from Waterboy. Oh, so funny. All right. Hey, another thing that I saw more recently than that, because that was years ago, is Lyle Lyle Crocodile. Oh, what a movie. That was a lot of fun. A lot of singing, a lot of dancing. That was good stuff. All right. So let's get on with it, shall we? I've got a number 2 here. The second question of the car line competition today, and it goes a little something like this. A single seed of which plant contains at least 3 times more caffeine than a coffee bean? Is it cocoa, guarana, cola nut, or tea? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, a single seed of which plant contains at least 3 times more caffeine than a coffee bean? Is it A, cocoa? Is it B, guarana? Is it C, cola nut? Or is it D, tea? 256-505-0885. Call me up. Let me know. And if you don't know it, you can always use Google. Plus, I am your phone a friend, so I'll give you a second shot at it. So call me up. Let me know. 256-505-0885. 88.5 JFM. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's going on, babe?
I'm driving to work.
Driving to work. Yes, and you are a coffee drinker.
I am. I like coffee.
Yeah. Does it help you kind of wake up and get started?
I don't really think so. I like it just because it's warm and it just makes you feel good, I guess.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't really drink it just for the caffeine. I like the other elements of it.
Yeah, and the creamer you put in it, right?
Yeah, that too.
Very good. Well, my question, it kind of hinges on all that caffeine. A single seed of which plant contains at least 3 times more caffeine than a coffee bean? Is it cocoa, guarana, cola nut, or tea?
Guarana.
That's exactly right. Congratulations. You teacher, you just got it right. Yeah, they actually say consuming too many of those guarana seeds can really be harmful for your health. Too much caffeine, huh?
It actually contains the highest caffeine amount
Wow.
of any known plant.
Yep. You got it.
Yeah.
Leave it to you, teacher, to know all the facts and figures.
Google is a very handy device.
Well, there's that too. All right. Well, winning 3 gift cards, you know how this works. We want you to keep 1, give 2 away. So what do you think?
I'm going to pass them on.
Okay. Well, we can totally make that happen. Still want to shout somebody out or 2 people out here on the radio?
Sure.
Okay.
I would love to shout out, let's see. I'm going to shout out Zach Owen and Dana Owen. They're both very good friends of ours, and they're so funny to hang out with, and I'm just we are blessed to be able to have those 2 in our life, and Dana has been literally my best friend for over 33 years, and God placed her in my life when I was in 5th grade. She was in 4th grade, and to be able to have someone in your life for that long is amazing.
Yeah.
And I never dreamed that I would be able to have somebody that close to me for that long. And even though sometimes it's been a month or 2 and we haven't talked, we just if one of us calls or texts or whatever, we text a lot, but then one of us calls, it's like we're just it's just back to just the way it was. So
yeah.
And her husband Zach, he's hilarious, and we love we had a game night the other night, and it was just so much fun. It brought back a lot of memories from when they used to live closer.
Yeah.
And it was just so cool to be able to hang out with them again. And they're just an awesome couple, and I'm very thankful for them.
Yeah, they are an awesome couple. I'm thankful for them too. Babe, thanks for sharing some love here on the radio. And I think it's so cool. I've never really thought about this, but it's funny how you 2 ended up kind of in the same place as far as your jobs go, because you're a teacher and she's a lunchroom lady. So it's pretty cool.
It is pretty neat.
Yeah.
And but she had always had that culinary background.
Yeah.
And she was an awesome. She would cook and she would bake when she was younger, and then she has 2 culinary degrees, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And she loves what she does, and she loves being able to work with kids every day and be able to see them, and then the cooking is just a plus to be able to do that for her. So
that is awesome. Very good. Well, all right, we're going to roll these gift cards over, and we shared a lot of love on the radio, and I love you so much, and I'll talk with you later.
I love you too. All right.
All right.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye. That is awesome. We got a little bit of a train rolling through here now. We've got 6 gift cards up for grabs. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this next question because we're running out of time. I don't want to make you late for class. So let's do this last question of the car line competition for the day. In which U.S. city is the only royal palace? Is it A, Dallas, B, Miami, C, Las Vegas, or D, Honolulu? The number's 256-505-0885. Again, in which U.S. city is the only royal palace here in the U.S.? Is it in A, Dallas, B, Miami, C, Las Vegas, or D, Honolulu? 256-505-0885 is a number to call, and I'm waiting on your call right now. Well, we've been having a blast playing this car line competition this morning, and I just had that last question, and guess what? I got a last answer. I want to play it for you right now. Here, take a listen to this. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's your name?
Judah.
Judah. Is it Judah Henniger?
Yes.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Well, I've got a question for you. So, have you seen like castles and palaces and really big things like that on TV, maybe on a cartoon or on a movie?
Yes.
Don't you think it'd be kind of awesome to live in a palace like that? Just a huge mansion?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, believe it or not, there is still a royal palace standing in one city in the U.S. Is it in Dallas, Miami, Las Vegas, or Honolulu?
Hallelujah.
Honolulu is correct. Congratulations to you. You just won not 3 gift cards, but 6 gift cards. What do you think about that?
Good.
Good? Yeah, I'm happy about it too. Now I get to ask you about 2 very special people in your life that mean a lot to you, that you're going to share a gift card with. So tell me about them. What are their names?
Me and my brother and Daddy and my mommy.
Awesome. Tell me something special about that dad of yours.
He's so good.
Yeah.
And he even made me a secret trunk. And my brother.
Cool. And tell me something special about that mom of yours.
He's so great.
Yeah. And now tell me something special about that brother of yours.
He jumped on my trampoline with me.
Oh, that's a lot of fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love jumping on a trampoline. Very cool. Well, I am going to get these 6 gift cards over to you, and I hope you have the best day ever, okay?
Hey.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. How much fun was that? Yep, Judah Henniger, thanks so much for calling me up this morning. All right, hey, a little more information about that. A little more information about that palace over in Honolulu, Hawaii. Did you even know it was there? Yeah, I really had no clue until I did a little bit of research for this. Aulani Palace in downtown Honolulu on the island of Oahu is the only royal palace in the United States. And I just looked this up on Google, and is an enduring symbol of Hawaiian independence. It was the official residence and capital of the last ruling monarchs of the Kingdom of Hawaii. So yeah, it's pretty cool too. You can Google pictures there. Really nice place. But hey, that brings us to the end of today's Carline competition. We've had a blast though. And guess what? We're going to do it again tomorrow too. So can't wait for that. But we've got like 2.5 hours of show left. What are we going to talk about? I've got some stuff lined up I think you're going to like. And of course, some great music to help get you through the day. And we're going to be hearing from Stephen Curtis Chapman a little later on the show, a little bit about his history, how he got started in music in the first place. And that guy, he's been churning out those hits for quite a number of years now. So we'll get into that and more. But right now, let's have our devotion time. It's the Drive Time Devotion.
This is Pastor Gary Kraft with your Drive Time Devotion. Our culture's saturated with competition, from sports to singing competitions on TV or getting the most likes on social media. Our world seems to be filled with those screaming for our attention, our dollars, and our devotion. But there's only so much attention, allegiance, and affection to go around. Choices have to be made about who or what gets hunks of our hearts. In the middle of this, Christ tells us to love Him with our whole heart, because our hearts can so easily be divided. Lot's wife knew the struggle. Even though judgment was descending on Sodom, her heart was still split between God and her goodies that were going up in flames. David knew the danger of a divided heart when he wrote, "Unite my heart to fear your name, O Lord." He knew Satan's siren song could lure his heart away from a complete and undivided devotion to God. He realized the substitutes for the treasure of God's presence were many and readily available. But nothing can compare to the treasure that Jesus is. He described this all-consuming type of love when he told the parable about the man who found the pearl of great price and sold all he had to purchase it. Christ in me, Christ close to me, Christ with me, Christ for me is worth anything I may have to let go of. And we all will have to let go of something to love Him with our whole hearts. Let's pray. Father, help me see what divides my heart, things that I should be able to enjoy without loving them with the love only You deserve. Give me the ability to eliminate all competitors. In Jesus' name, amen.
That news that hit the airwaves yesterday, it's like everybody got a hold of it, and it didn't matter if it was sports channels or it was regular news channels, CNN, Fox, doesn't matter. the fact that Nick Saban is retiring, it was a surprise, a shock to so many people. I've been seeing those rumors here and there, but now it's like official. Hard to deal with. We kind of gotten spoiled over the years. Nick Saban, one of the winningest coaches in college football, right? Well, let me tell you something. A lot of people are tore up about it. I mean, so much so that where my wife works, over in the Coleman County school system, on the Coleman County Schools Facebook page, they actually posted, as much as we would love to, we cannot delay school tomorrow due to Nick Saban's retirement. Sorry, with a crying emoji. Yeah, it's hard. It really is. So many comments on that too. A lot of people having fun with it. Some people saying we need a day of mourning in Alabama because Nick Saban is retired. Come on. It's not that big, but it kind of is that big. You know what I mean? Tell you what, I've got another public figure here in the state of Alabama. I would venture to say even more popular than Alexander Shannara, though you see his mug on so many billboards across the state. There's one other guy who wears suspenders, who is very well known in these parts, and it took a guy from Texas to point it out. And I'm going to share his comments with you at the top of the hour. So stick around. We'll get to that. It's pretty funny. So be here, okay? And just in case you have to step away, tune us in online, 885jfm.com. Click that On Now button, press play, and you're good to go. So we're losing a head football coach by the initials of NS, but we do still have somebody, a very public figure, very popular guy, viral even, by the initials JS. He wears suspenders, and you hope you never see him take his jacket off, because if so, it's going down. Yeah, who am I talking about? Stick around to find out after this. There's some people we really put our trust in, and rightfully so. I mean, they've gone to school, they've gotten the degree, and they've proven themselves to be dependable. And we need that, especially when you look to them for safety. I'm talking about those weathermen out there on TV. Yeah, which one's your favorite? I remember years ago, that one from Channel 19 up in Huntsville, Dan Satterfield. He would scare you anytime there was any chance of a tornado. Yeah. But there's another guy who's been in Huntsville now, oh my goodness, ever since 1996. And we just happen to have the privilege of having him and his team do our weather here at the station. Of course, I'm talking about Brad Travis. But, you know, there's another weatherman a little further south from us. We don't get his channel here. And instead, down in Birmingham, around that area, this guy, wow, people watch him. He doesn't have to say anything. If he takes that jacket off, you know that things are getting really serious. And then if he rolls up his sleeves, be prepared, right? There's this guy out in Texas who knows a little something about this. I found that quite odd. Yeah, his name is Jason Goodson. And he had a little something to say about who this guy is and just a little explainer to everybody. Now, keep in mind, he's from Bloomberg, Texas, but he still knows about this guy. Take a listen.
Let me tell you about these folks in Alabama. If there's anybody they have more faith in than Nick Saban, that's James Spann. He's the weatherman. The only thing these people like more than watching some Alabama football is watching James tell them what the storm's going to do. Because it's going to do exactly like he said. If he's on TV and he's got all his clothes on, you don't have anything to worry about. It's going to be a good day. But if he takes his jacket off, things just got serious. And that's his way of letting you know you better have your insurance up to date because there will be some damage. He's going to give you a polygon on the map to let you know where the damage is going. And if you find yourself within the confines of it, you better put some respect on it because he don't miss. And if you ever see him with his sleeves rolled up, that's his way of telling you you better have peace with your maker because it's going down. He don't use words and phrases like I think and somewhere over there. He's going to tell you exactly what road the nader's going down, and if he's pointing at your house, you might as well call yourself Dorothy because you're fixing to be headed to Oz, and your little dog too. What's really amazing is it don't matter what part of the state's getting beat up. Not only does he know where the nader is, but he knows whose house it just tore up by name. It blows my mind. Now, these folks in Alabama might have their little differences over whether it's War Eagle or Roll Tide, but there's one phrase they are all on board with.
And that phrase is respect the polygon. You can catch James Spann all over the socials. He's even got a TikTok page. Yeah, and he only pops over there whenever there's serious weather. So, yeah, you can check him out there if you'd like. Thanks so much for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Glad we can have some fun together. It's pretty common these days. You go to a restaurant, you take your family, and lots of times they're going to have a kids menu there at the restaurant, complete with a little set of maybe 2, 3, 4 crayons that your kid can take and color in that menu. They can do all kinds of puzzles and stuff, right? But what happens to those crayons after they're used there at the restaurant? One dad found out. He decided he wasn't happy with that, so he wanted to change it. I'll tell you more. Brian Ware and his family went out for dinner one night, and while his boys sat coloring on the menu, Brian couldn't help but wonder where restaurant crayons end up when all the people go home. Turns out, the landfill, making a big waxy mess that never biodegrades. Why? Brian thought. Couldn't they be repurposed to create more joy in the world? He took the crayons home, and he got busy figuring out the art of collecting and sorting old crayons, melting them down, and remanufacturing them in a bright, clean, paper-free form. And thus, the Crayon Initiative was born. They provide an 8 count of crayons, a box for each kid at Children's Hospital. They have 6 colors of the rainbow, plus a pink and a brown in each box, and they're given to these kids. And it really helps them because think about it. These kids at the hospital, they're in an abnormal situation. They need something to kind of center them, kind of take their anxiety down a little bit. And coloring does that. In fact, studies show that art therapy can reduce heart rates, improve cognition, release endorphins, and alleviate stress. And most of the young patients take the crayons home with them. It's pretty cool. It's funny when you're coloring. Think about this. What kind of things are you thinking about while you color? Nothing, right? No thoughts. You're just focused on the page, coloring in the lines, getting creative with it. It's something so simple, but it's needed, especially for these kids who are going through a really tough time. So I want you to hear a little bit from Brian Ware and telling you what he's been up to.
It means everything to them to actually have their own pack of crayons with tips on them. Most of the patients take our crayons home with them because it's the one good memory of that hospital stay, and remember that it brought them happiness. There's an unlimited supply of crayons coming in, and so if we can keep taking those crayons and making new ones, we can make sure that every children's hospital gets the art supplies that they need and the resources that they need through these crayons.
And they're always looking for more crayons. So I just wanted to let you know, if you'd like to donate some old crayons, you can go to thecrayoninitiative.org and check it out. All the info is right there. I'll make it even easier for you. I'm going to go put it on our 88.5 JFM's Come Together Facebook group so you can find it. It'll be there in 30 seconds. Thanks for hanging out with me right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I want to shout some people out real quick. I see you listening to us in Birmingham, Alabama. We were just talking about your weatherman a little while ago, Mr. James Spann. Did you know that James Spann has been at ABC 3340 since 1996? Yeah, and actually our weatherman up here in Huntsville, Brad Travis, he's been there at WAFF 48 for that long as well. We're talking 96 when they both got started at their respective stations. How cool is that? And we've got some listeners right now in Atlanta, Georgia as well. And let's not forget our friends across the ocean in Helsinki, Finland. We've got Joel Modis in Palm Coast, Florida. We've got some other listeners, Boaz, Albertville, Arab, Gunnersville. Thank you so much for making us part of your day. All right, whether you're listening to us on the stream, the radio, or the podcast, just want to make sure you understand we're thankful for you. All right, more gay music headed your way. Mercy me to not worship you right here on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. So I'm kind of a techie person. I've been that way my whole life. I remember growing up, antenna television, having to put the right adapter on the end of those little ribbon wires to put in the back of the TV, and then having to go outside and turn the antenna to get a better signal depending on what you wanted to watch. Yeah, that was me. Trying to figure out how to hook up my Nintendo Entertainment System to the TV in different ways. Yep, that was me too. And these days, if you got a problem with your computer, lots of times I can find the answer for you. At least that's what everybody around work thinks, because whenever there's a computer problem, I'm the guy they ask, and I am happy to help. I really am. I'm kind of a techie guy, so I like to stay on top of all the tech news. And with that in mind, I wonder if you saw any news about the CES 2024 Consumer Electronics Show. Yeah, I was over on Mashable taking a look at all the things that they had posted, and they found 10 of these items that are already available for purchase. And I thought I'd tell you a little bit about maybe a few of them. The first one, it really gets me a little excited because I don't know about you, but I've got fat thumbs. And so when I'm trying to text on my iPhone, lots of times I hit the wrong letter. It happens all the time. It's so frustrating. So this first thing is a phone case with an actual keyboard at the bottom. Yeah, it's so cool. You can even use those shortcuts like hitting Command A for select all. Yeah, Command C, Command V. You can copy and paste. And this is so cool because it's there. You don't have to go to some virtual keyboard. It's a pretty cool thing. Now, this is in yellow or in gray. It's called Bumblebee or London Sky, but it's pretty cool. Clicks Technology is the people who put it out. It's pretty neat. So I just wanted to put you onto that. Number 2 in their list is the Garmin Lily 2. Of course, that Garmin is going to help you keep up with all your fitness activity. That's not the only wearable. They also have the Apollo that helps stimulate your vagus nerve. It can help regulate important bodily functions like heart rate and breathing and things like that. So that's pretty neat. How about Evolve Movement? Now, this is a wearable, but you don't wear it on your wrist. Instead, you would wear this on your ankle, and it helps you with your gait of step. So it's not about how many steps you take. It's not a pedometer. It's the quality of your step, and it helps you with how you're walking, especially if you're flat-footed or you have foot problems and you have to have orthotics every, few months. This might really help you not have to spend so much money on those orthotics. So again, the name of that is Evolve Movement. There are a few other things here. One that you ladies might really enjoy. It's called Nimble. It's basically an AI-powered nail person. For lack of a better word, it's like a nail tech. Like when you go to the nail salon and you get your nails done, you get that whole pedicure, that manicure. Well, this can give you a whole set of nails in like 30 minutes, and it's spotless. I mean, it is AI generated. It dries your nails. It does everything. A little expensive. You're looking at around $600, but hey, that's an option for you. And then there are a few more here on the list, like some portable displays, ones that even stick onto things. I really get excited when I see those flexible displays. How about you? The ones that bend and fold? That's so neat. And then they've got a few new laptops on the market that convert into tablets. So a lot of cool stuff, but there's one that really caught my attention. It kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies, to be honest with you, and that is the WeHead GPT edition. So this is a device that would sit on your desk, and it has an image of a man's face, and it has a speaker and a microphone. So you talk to it, and it talks back. Instead of typing things into ChatGPT, you would actually say things to this robot, and it would respond using ChatGPT. This is a little weird, but anyway, to each their own. Just some ideas for you from the Consumer Electronics Show 2024. 10 of those things that you can actually purchase right now. Yeah. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. So today is Thursday, and usually that would mean that today is Dolly Day for me. Yeah, so let me tell you, I've got this coworker. Her name is Liz, and she has this dog that she took in, this stray, and she started taking care of it. Her name is Dolly, and she is like a wire-haired terrier. She's full of energy, and I absolutely love playing with her. She brings toys and everything, and usually she comes to work on Thursdays. That is until Liz got married, and now Dolly doesn't come around anymore. So I miss my Dolly time, but there's something about those pets that just bring us joy, right? But I was talking with Liz yesterday about Dolly, and she said, any chance Dolly gets to bolt out of the house, she takes it. And it's not that she runs off to other people's houses or out in the street. No, she just likes to zoom around the yard in circles. Yeah, I get it. Being pent up in the house. Yeah, and she's got a lot of energy. Yeah, it can happen. But, what about those animals that are kept pent up all the time? Yeah, like at the zoo. Don't you wish they could bolt? But there's so many precautions in place, so many gates and locks, and everything is just so secure, right? Except for those aviaries. You know, those walk-in enclosures where you can get close to the colorful birds? Yeah. Well, over in the UK, one of the birds, it's a rainbow lorikeet, hitchhiked out of the enclosure as it sat on a zoogoer's shoulder and just stayed there while they walked out. And as soon as the person realized that this bird was on them, she looked over at one of the zookeepers and said, "Hey, you might want to get this bird." And by that time, the bird flew away and is still at large. So this rainbow lorikeet is somewhere. It's been spotted in the trees nearby. So they moved all the other lorikeets to an outdoor enclosure in hopes that its calls will kind of beckon this one back so they can get it back in the enclosure. But I got to thinking about that. You know, hitchhiking. I heard a little story that I was told from my Mimi, my grandma, so my mom's mom, about how she ended up moving from Montana, where she grew up, all the way down to near Tampa, Florida, where they started their family. They didn't really have a car. They hitchhiked from Montana down to Tampa, Florida. Now, that was in a different day and age. These days, you'd be afraid to do something like that. But, you know, they didn't have the means to get there, so they relied on other people's charity. They relied on other people's goodwill to help them out. You know, there's something to be said about that, especially when sometimes in our lives, we need to hitchhike. Yeah, we don't have the strength to keep moving. We don't feel like we can keep going, so we have people around us who can kind of carry us a little bit. And you know, lots of times you can feel shame for something like that you needed the help in the first place. But no, that's what this thing is all about. That's what community is. We've got each other's backs. You know what I mean? So, hey, I just wanted to say that to the person right now who's really having a hard time and you feel like you can't move anymore. Maybe it's time for you to reach out to a friend, to somebody at church, and let them know what's going on in your life. Tell them your situation. Tell them how much of a struggle it's been, and see if they don't help carry you a little bit. And don't feel shame for it, because we all need that help from time to time, right? But here's the deal. Be ready to help carry somebody else in the future. Just like that friend, that person was able to help carry you. Because you can be that for somebody else. We need each other. I just wanted to remind you of that. There's no shame in asking for help. We're here to help. We've got each other's backs, right? Thanks for being part of my community, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I still have to pinch myself sometimes. The fact that I get to sit here in the studio and hang out with you 4 hours a morning, 5 days a week, it just blows my mind, because I remember back when I was in high school, I was listening to this music. I had the tapes, I had the CDs. I would listen on my way to school. I would listen on my way to junior college. I would stay listening on my way to university at Jacksonville State. Christian music's been a part of my life for a very long time, ever since when I was around 10 years old. And one of these artists that I get to play here has been around for that long. Actually longer in this industry, and it's really amazing to hear from him. He's still got new music coming out. His name is Steven Curtis Chapman, and I don't know if you know any of his music. Surely you do. I'm going to play an older one for you after I get done with this, but do you know how he got his start in music? Yeah, it had a little something to do with Opryland. You want to hear the story? He just posted it over on his TikTok page. I want to share it with you now. Take a listen.
My older brother and I came to Nashville and auditioned at Opryland to try to get a summer job playing music in one of the shows. Made it, got in one of the shows called Country Music USA. You dress up like the artist. You know, it was a variety show, basically. I got a phone call one day. They said, "Hey, would you come do the Grand Ole Opry? You want to sing on the Opry?" Yeah. And they said, "Well, we bring kids from the park every now and then, and we call it the future stars of country music." Kind of my big moment in the show in the park was the announcer would say, "The incomparable George Jones." And I'd sing, "He stopped loving her today," and do the chorus of "He Stopped Loving Her Today." Roy introduced me, and I walked out on the stage. I sang the first line. I couldn't remember the words.
No way.
It freaked me out so much, because I'm on the Grand Ole Opry, and I look at the audience, and my dad and my mom, and I'm like, And I couldn't remember the words. This is bad. I'm on the Grand Ole Opry, my dad and everybody, and I could hear the band behind me. They placed a wreath upon his door. They're trying to give me the words, you know. I suddenly get the words back, and I'm like, they placed a wreath upon his door. Finish the song, get done. Roy walks over, and he said, well, Steve, sound like you forgot the words there for a minute. And this is when George was No Show Jones. He would come on stage, sing a song, fall off stage, and it was terrible. I just said, well, Roy, no, I didn't forget the words. I just wanted to sing it like George does it these days. And the crowd thought it was hilarious. And I walked off stage, and Roy looked at me and he said, well, son, I don't know about your voice. I don't know about your music. I don't know. But if you can pull that off at this age in front of that crowd, I think you just might make it in this business.
How cool is that? Oh, wow. Now, this is one of those songs from Stephen Curtis Chapman that's been around for a while. It's one of my absolute favorites from him, and I hope it is yours too. It's called Dive, and it's so good. So turn it up, and let's walk down memory lane for just a few minutes. Enjoy the song, okay? Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm so sorry, but because of copyright infringement and rules and regulations, I can't play the whole song here, but you can totally go and YouTube it. It's called Dive by Stephen Curtis Chapman. Thanks for hanging out with me. And hey, if you'd like to join me live, I put that link in the description. So come on over, 6 to 10, Monday through Friday, Central. And while you're at it, go ahead and shoot me over an email, Steven@885jfm.com. And let me know your name. I'd love to shout you out, okay? Thanks for hanging out here on the podcast. I'm sorry, but I think Kendall is in some hot water. You see, her and her sister decided to prank their mom, who just came through carpal tunnel surgery. Surgery on mom's wrist. But when mom woke up, they had this genius plan, the biggest prank. Oh my gosh, she's coming off of anesthesia and she is not quite all there yet. And they are telling her that, well, here, I'll save it. Stick around. I'll get into it next. You will laugh so hard. Kendall Culpepper is, well, she's kind of skating on thin ice here. You see, she decided to pull a prank on her mom. Her mom had just gone in for carpal tunnel surgery. And actually, that kind of hits home for me. My mom actually had carpal tunnel surgery on both wrists and elbows. But for Kendall's mom, it's her left wrist that she just had surgery on. Now, she's finally coming to in recovery, right? She's coming off of those sleepy time drugs. So she's not quite there. You see, what Kendall and her sister decided to do was try to convince their mom that they couldn't fix her original hand. So they took Kendall's left hand and gave it to her mom. And in place of Kendall's left hand now, there is a baby doll hand that Kendall is holding on to. Now, she's got a long sleeve hoodie on, so you can't tell that her hand is holding the little arm from the doll. So all you see on her left hand is a little bitty plastic doll hand, and her right hand is full size. And they try to convince their mom that this is actually what happened, and she's believing every word of it. In fact, she's even a little apologetic about it. Here's a little bit of how it went down. Now, I know you can't see it, but just picture in your mind that Kendall, she's standing there beside her mom's hospital bed. Her mom is laying there just coming to, looking over at Kendall. They're having a conversation. And Kendall says, so, did they tell you what happened? And that's where we pick it up.
I mean, your hand is fine. Because they gave you mine. So they couldn't say yours, so they gave you mine. It's fine, though. Like, I can still read my Bible. I can still cheer at ball games. It's fine. And I'm not even left-handed, so I can still write. Sorry.
It's actually her left hand.
It's fine.
It might be a little weird.
Probably a different, like, ring size and stuff, but it's fine. There's, like, a callus on one of the fingers. Sometimes gets in the way. It's fine. It's a thing. But I hope you enjoy it. It's fine. No.
Wow. What did you think about that? It's just kind of, did you hear the vitals? Her heart rate started to increase a little bit as all this was going down. Oh, it messed with Mom at just the wrong time, but it was so funny. We're talking about over 56,000 comments on this video. Oh, my goodness. So I'll be watching for some follow-ups, and we'll see how Mom felt about the whole deal after the fact. Sound good? All right. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I did a really quick search, and I found the response to that last video. Kendall and her sister pulling a prank on Mom, just came out of surgery, told Mom, hey, they weren't able to fix your left hand, so they cut mine off and gave mine to you, and they gave me this little hand, and it was a baby doll hand, right? Mom looks like out of her head. She's just coming up from those sleepy time medicines. And so you've got to hear how Mom reacted to this after the fact. Here's while they were in the car. She was finally able to go home. Mom has apologized already, and here it is. She's holding the baby doll hand in her hand, and she is just blown away. So good. That video over 7 million views on TikTok. I just had to give you the rest of the story, if you will. I want to shout out some people real quick. I see you in Reno County, Kansas. Thank you for hanging out with us this morning. Also, Joel Modis in Palm Coast, Florida. Our friends in Helsinki, Finland. We've got Skyline and Arab and Gunnersville and Albertville and Boaz and Mountain Borough hanging out with us on the stream right now as well. And right now on the podcast, well, there's no way for me to really tell, but if you're listening to us on the podcast on Spotify, thank you so much for being here. And hey, maybe you're listening here on the FM signal. Thank you too. Y'all are the reason why we're here. Seriously. If you didn't listen, there'd be no reason for us to exist. So we hope that we really are living up to our slogan, making your day better. That's what we try to do every day. Thanks so much for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. It's been a blast so far. It's about time for me to wrap things up. So you know how I do this. I use the inspiring quote of the day. And I start the show with this, and then I end it with it because I've had a few hours to think about it. And so here it is. I pray that I'm never a source of pain for anyone. I pray I don't bring darkness in anyone's life. I pray that I'm a source of light and goodness wherever I go. Wow. You know people like that, don't you? People that kind of do bring the whole atmosphere down when they walk into a room. People scatter because they don't want to talk to them. Yeah, we don't need to be those people. Instead, we need to be those people that light up the room. That when we show up, people are just so happy to see us. How do we do that? Well, there are a lot of ways. Mostly in how we treat people, how we talk to people, how we interact with one another. You know what I mean? And yes, it has a lot to do with even behind the scenes. Are we talking about people behind their back? Are we telling people of these big opinions we have of others, how they're just not that great of a person, and this is why? We can really fall into some traps here. I'm just saying. There's one thing that I found. This life is really about relationships. I mean, our relationship with God, our relationship with our family, with our spouse, with our kids, our relationship with each other as a church body, you know? So, I know we don't always get along, but we can always come back together. I mean, I don't know many families, you know, that just call it quits. Like between a dad and a son, or a mom and a daughter. It's not like they just cut each other off and don't talk to each other anymore. No, they work out their differences. They come back together because they're family. So let's do that. Let's be what we're called to be. Let's be the light out there. Hey, you're doing a great job. I just wanted to give all of us a little reminder. We can always improve, right? Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with me right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Now, I hope you have the best Thursday so far, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow from 6 to 10 for another Lifeline Morning Show. Sound good to you? All right.